Hi there. C'est moi, c'est vrai, c'est Joseph. I'm having fun, folks. Hope you are too. Um, I wanted to talk a bit about writing down. I'm going to look it up so I know what I'm talking about here. Yes, write moments and feelings. Hold on. It doesn't, every author that I've had the good fortune to chat with or listen to when they're talking, when they're lecturing, when they're presenting, being interviewed, whether they are pantsers or plotters, or as I've said before, some mixture of the two, one thing that is always true, in my estimation, is that they write moments and feelings. By the way, we're listening to Santana, before I forget. Very important to know who one is listening to, who one is paying attention to. Write down moments and feelings. I don't care if you're James Patterson or Stephen King or Nora Roberts or J.K. Rowling. The most real aspects of what you're writing will be those parts of your writing where you are putting on the page or the screen, whatever, the emotional energy of something that really happened in your life. It doesn't have to be one for one with what's going on in the story. But for example, there have been moments in my life where I felt incredibly isolated and alone. That shows up in the augmented man quite often. It shows up in a lot of my things quite often, that feeling of being alone, of nowhere to go, nowhere to turn to. Might as well just go somewhere and end it all. But obviously I haven't, because I'm here talking with you. Don't worry. And the feelings, the moments, the energy. I think I've mentioned before that emotion is energy in motion. I love that phrase. So I'm going to use it a lot. Energy in motion. It doesn't matter who the character is. There's some space marine raw, macho guy. They're steroid driven. When you are writing about an emotional moment and you're putting your emotions through that character into the scene, you are creating a relatable moment between the character and the reader. That's very important, because relatability is not only incredibly important in life, being able to associate well, but if you have characters that make no sense, there's no hook, if you will, for the reader to attach to, that character may as well not exist on the page. There has to be some moment, or preferably moments, where the reader can read about the character, can consider that character, and without saying this verbally, without thinking it consciously, yeah, I've had a moment like that, where they can feel what the character is feeling. When the emotions the character is having because of the situation the character is in is something they're feeling because of something that happened in their life. The loss of someone, sacrifice, losing a job, losing a loved one, starting a new relationship, moving. I don't care what it is. Getting a new car, a pet. These are the emotional moments of our lives. And because of the way the brain is structured, we remember the emotional moments far better than the non-emotional moments. As I have said repeatedly back in the days when I was in business, nobody had an incredible meal at a Burger King. Nobody goes home and years later is still thinking about that hamburger they had at Wendy's. No offense to Burger King, no offense to Wendy's. Haven't been there in years myself. But there's this place on the Isle of Skye. Um, Three Chimneys, Raha, go there. Just, it's phenomenal. Oh my God. This is 20, 21 years later, and I'm still remembering the meal that I had there. Not because the meal was incredible, yes. It was also because of everything else that was around that meal. There was a production crew, a movie production crew at the next table. They was chatting with us. There were some other tourists there. They were chatting with us. There were some local people. They were chatting with us. The staff was incredible, and the food, oh my God. Anyway, I said anyway again. I said I wouldn't say that. Anyway, I shouldn't say that. So it's the emotional moments that we remember. The peaks and the valleys are what our brain keeps handy, keeps ready for us to go back to reference, to recognize. Those are the moments we are learning. The aha moment, if you will, and that's going to be in another experiment. The aha moment, or maybe a chapter in my next book. The aha moment, let me say it one more time. The aha moment is that incredibly emotional surge that we get. And when you can have that occur on a page to the point where the reader has an aha moment, you own the reader at that point. You own the audience. In my experience, aha moments are easier to put into, for lack of a better term, I will call mystery stories, not crime mysteries, but mysteries where there is some question that needs to be answered. A lot of people have told me that Empty Sky, I just happen to have a copy here for you. How about that? A lot of people have told me that Empty Sky has provided them with so many aha moments where they went, whoa, wait a second. Another one that has that in abundance seems to be The Shaman. Shocked. I know you're shocked. Any of my other books here? What else do I have back here? Hang on a second. What's this one tucked underneath here? Oh, yeah. I get this. This gets a lot. Book of the Wounded Healers. I've had people tell me many, many times that they had to stop reading and just sit back, and they knew that their eyes were wide and they could feel the change inside of them as they had that aha moment because of what the characters were going through or what they were experiencing. And that is relatability. So back to the basic. When you are writing, if you want readers to really go into and recognize and be one with your characters and read your novel or your story, whatever, to the end, write moments and feelings. Put your moments and feelings on the page through your characters. It doesn't have to be a journal, it doesn't have to be a memory piece, although that's what we write from, memory. Just put it on the page so that the reader, because they are human as well as you, can go, yeah, I've been there, I've been through that. Make them interested. Here's an extra one I'll give you. If you can put the character in a situation that is similar to what people are going through in their life and make that character relatable, write the moment and the feeling, the reader will continue reading about the character to see how they solve it. They will want to know how the character gets through this so that they can get through it. Here's another one just because I'm talkative. My characters come up with solutions to things that I have to sit back myself and go, wow, that was freaking brilliant. God, I wish I knew. I wish I could have done that in my life. I got to remember that one. I got to use that somewhere. Anyway, write moments and feelings. Put yourself, your energy, your experiences through your characters, even if it's so different, even if you're writing characters so totally different from yourself. You know, when J.K. Rowling wrote the original Harry Potter series, the original few books, do remember she was a mother living on welfare. She wasn't sure where she was going to sleep, where her kids were going to have their next meal. And that comes through in Harry Potter being essentially cast off, being living underneath a staircase, not being cared about or loved. That feeling of isolation. Go for it. Take care. I'm going to see if I can hit that button. Oh, I'm looking anyway. Where is it? There it is. You think I'd know by now. Bye.